Just a year back in 2013, the state Uttarakhand was ravaged with serious floods, and it impacted adjoining areas around Uttarakhand. Hundreds of people became homeless and a lot of people lost their lives. And the National Disaster Management Authority, the apex body called NDMA, around that time told that it taught nodal agencies a lot of lessons. Is that really true? After a year later, Jammu and Kashmir, now we are seeing worst floods in 100 years in Jammu and Kashmir. Close to 200 people are dead and thousands still waiting for help. As usual, the army troops are working day in and day out to rescue people who are stranded in that region. The floods in Kashmir seriously demonstrated how government is not prepared to deal with unprecedented natural calamities, and Uttarakhand flash floods did not teach much of a lesson, looks like. So even with the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD as it's called, predicted this heavy rainfall in the valley days ahead in advance, it still wonders why NDMA was not taking a note of it, right? So could be multiple reasons though, but NDMA, which was headed by the vice chairman M Seshidhar Reddy, and the body quit on June 17 this year after the 2014 Lok Sabha polls. So as you all know, NDMA was formed in 2004 after tsunami struck in India, and it was mainly focusing on disaster mitigation, coordination between government agencies during rescue and relief operations, providing information about medical supplies, collection of data on deaths, diseases and missing people. But did it really do its job? And beyond thinking about the negatives of what we are talking about right now, also in this behest talk about Arambol, a small village Panchayat close to the Goa area in Goa and also close to the port, has become the first Panchayat in this country to have its own disaster management plan in 2012. And as you all know, as per the Disaster Management Act 2005, it has become mandatory to have a district level disaster management plan, Taluka and Zilla Parishad layer disaster management plan, and Panchayat level disaster management plan across the country. So that instance of Arambol in Goa spread a lot of positive message, and a lot of other people also tried implementing such a disaster management plan in their own regions. Of course, it has got its own problems. 1 year on, Arambol is not yet ready to hold single disaster management meeting, as I heard, and locals blame the Panchayat members are not organizing meetings to discuss disaster preparedness. And to talk about all of this, the person behind the efforts in Arambol and other areas, and a person who has been dealing with all sort of disaster management, started an NGO 15 years back. We do have from Sarista Foundation, the founding member, Colonel Dr. N Verma, is right now on NRI Samay to talk on this topic.
Friends, today's NRI Samay program from Los Angeles brought to you commercial free by listeners like you. Your generous donations make possible for us to stay commercial free, and today's show is pre-recorded. If you have a question for the guest, please send an email to nrisamay@gmail.com. We will follow up with the guest and find the answer for you. Thank you for your support.
So first of all, the first question that I get is when I read about Sarissa Foundation. Sarissa Foundation is an NGO which is dealing with disaster management, disaster risk reduction, right, sir? How did you get this idea of starting this Sarissa Foundation, sir?
You see, I served in an army for 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever there were serious disasters in India, army was called and I was there at most of the time, and I felt very sorry for the people, that people at the local level are hardly aware about their do's and do nots when any disaster occurs. And we had lost and recovered a lot of lives during this period. So I was hurt. There was inside urge in me that we should prepare people at a local level who can protect themselves and their property before outside help reaches to them. And outside help takes time. It takes time to reach to people.
Right.
And that has inspired me about 15 years back that I should start a momentum, I should start a campaign, I should start a mission where the people, experts reach to the local people and empower them to protect their lives and protect their properties.
Exactly. Sir, 15 years in this process, you've started this NGO, sir, and I see the mission statement here is perfectly matching to the disaster risk reduction, and also your military background, your experience has added more weightage to this whole process. So when you say do's and don'ts, that people are not aware of these basic do's and don'ts, what sort of do's and what sort of don'ts are you referring to, sir?
So what we are trying for the last 15 years is to let the people identify risk to their own regions and areas. It's very important. If a person knows that I'm going to face this kind of risk, the person has to identify those risks and he has to find out the ways and means how to defeat those risks. Now what we do is that let's take an example of floods, right?
Right.
Floods in Jammu and Kashmir or floods in Gujarat, in Baroda. What happens is that the local people, they surrender to the situation. What Sarissa Foundation writes is, please do not surrender to the situation. You have local resources, you can improvise number of things before arrival of the outside help, and those local resources will be the first aid of disaster management.
Right. Right. Sir, in this past 15 years, sir, how many disasters have you seen? Of course, after starting the NGO, I'm bringing up this conversation after you started the NGO. How many disasters?
Sir, what I want to guide you is that we are preparing school children, we are preparing women, we are preparing girls, we are preparing people with disabilities. Even we are creating confidence in them. Yes, I can respond. Yes, I can protect myself. And we have educated and trained about 225,000 people in 19 states of India. And the mission goes on. And there are about 10,000 disabled people, like visually impaired or physical challenge, mentally challenged people, and you'll be happy that they feel encouraged, they feel confident that yes, we can also protect ourselves.
Right. Sir, when you say that I can protect myself, when can a person say really that he can protect himself, that he is ready for any sort of disaster that strikes? Example like floods in Jammu and Kashmir. When do you say that a person is ready?
I take an example of terror attack. I take an example of bomb blast. Okay, sir.
Okay.
I take an example of earthquake.
Okay.
I take an example of flood.
Okay.
So there are a number of do's and don'ts, a number of drills which I cannot explain to you, but the local response. I'm taking one example.
Sure.
Let's take the USA celebrated its anniversary yesterday. Am I right, sir?
Right, sir. Right, sir.
If some people of the USA who were affected by the terror attack could have known how to respond at that particular time during that blast. And the one response is that when there's a blast, you lie down on the ground. There will be lesser impact on you because the blast impact blows upwards. Right, sir?
Right.
So these are smaller things. Case of firing, you say the terrorist firing. The one most important response by a person is go down, lie down on the ground, or hide yourself. The height of your body should be lesser than 2.5 feet. So the bullet impact is lessened.
Right.
The same is in case of blast.
Right. So, sir, can you take an example of the floods as well, sir? If it's a case of floods, how can a local person who's impacted by the flood respond to that? How can he be equipped?
Thank you. It's a very interesting innovation by us. Now we have taken up number of. We don't base on the only total posts coming from outside. We say, okay, you take the tubes of the vehicles.
Right.
The people who identify that my area is prone to disasters, they should have a kind of committee or a kind of group of people, of youth. They say, okay, we have collected about 10 to 12 tubes, and this can be inflated, and when needed, the people can float on this. People can evacuate older people, children, people can evacuate women, and they can make floaters of this by putting planks or putting bamboos on this. That's the number one innovation. Number two is using 10 liters cane.
Right.
10 liters empty cans can be also made as floaters.
Oh, okay.
Now the banana trees and their trunks can be made as floaters. The plastic tables and plastic chairs and used along with inflated tubes can be used as floaters. So there are a number of innovations like this, depending on the local resources, what so the people have, because they cannot tie down themselves to the flood.
Right. Right. So we have seen Uttarakhand floods, the worst of worst disasters that we have seen, and now we are seeing Jammu and Kashmir floods. So what actually would you, as a military officer and also a person who has looked into so many disasters, would suggest, sir? What is that we are missing and we are unable to carry forward to the citizens so that they can take care of themselves?
Sir, there are two things I'm comparing. One is Uttarakhand flood, another one is Jammu and Kashmir flood.
Right,
sir?
Right, sir.
The local people have no system of receiving warning, number one.
Right.
Number 2 point is that people are so casual about warnings, they do not adhere to the warning. So this awareness has to be raised amongst people that whenever they are warned, they have to respond to the warning. These are two very important factors.
Right.
The third factor is that people are depending that only government should help us.
Right.
Are you getting me?
Yes,
that
sir.
only government will help us. We will only surrender to floods. I am saying please do not surrender to the floods. Prepare your school children, prepare your women, prepare your community people that yes, how we can survive. Now take the example of Jammu and Kashmir, Srinagar.
Right.
The local people have been more effective than outside agencies at some places.
Right.
So they have to create number of innovations where they can protect themselves till the outside help reaches. And that's what I'm advocating everywhere. I'm just very straightforward. I want to tell you that let's make disaster preparedness and management minus experts. Because most of the time they keep on talking in capitals, in national capitals, regional capitals, but never that knowledge reaches in a usable form to the local people.
Right. Right. Sir, one other thing that we have to understand is you followed all these floods and other disasters for a long time. The nature of floods that we are looking at right now are very intense. That means when we talk about Uttarakhand, when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, when the floods are coming in, these are unprecedented. What sort of differences did you see when you were in service, sir, and now what is the difference that you are seeing, sir? Do you think that the Mother Nature is becoming really, really aggressive these days?
Sir, honestly, my vision is there is some kind of awareness and talk at the national level and state level is occurring, right?
Right.
And the national government or state governments are preparing themselves to react to disasters.
Right.
Are you getting me?
Yes,
preparing themselves to react to disasters, mostly in the way of rescuing people.
Right.
So that they have strengthened. But they have not strengthened the community so far. There's a long way to strengthen the communities and make them equal partners in management of disasters. And you will be happy, sir. a paper of mine has gone for the World Conference for the UNICR, saying that way forward for disaster management next 30 years, 25 years, to make people equal partners, make them accountable, make them responsive, and let them invest locally also to prepare for disasters.
Wonderful, sir. First of all, congratulations that your paper has been picked up, sir. Phenomenal effort from your side, and we're really proud of the work that you do, sir.
I look forward for your good wishes and support, and for me, you'll be happy that from 22nd of September,
right,
I am in Jaipur training 25 slums.
Nice.
25 slums of Jaipur, where about 500 participants, women, youth, and the leaders of the slums will participate in that workshop that is being done by Sarista Foundation and World Vision ADP Jaipur. So for me, the mission goes on every day.
Right.
And that's what I'm living, that's what I'm breathing, that's what I'm motivating.
Exactly, sir. And thank you so much for all your help that you're doing, sir. I want to bring up this as well, sir. So, sir, the role of military is something that I want to bring up, sir. Every time when a disaster strikes, people look towards military. They start posting their images, their bravery, their courage, their commitment, conviction everywhere on forums and social networks like Facebook and Twitter. So explain me, why is that military is the only one that's being talked about? Who are all the other people who help in this process of disaster recovery management and risk reduction?
Sir, it's an international phenomenon.
Okay.
It's an international phenomenon when the civil sectors fail. Mm-hmm. When civil organizations fail to do their duty, everywhere the army is called. You know why?
Right.
You'll ask me why.
Yes, sir.
Because that is the most obedient force internationally. It could be in India, it could be in USA. They know that these people will obey orders and they will do their best. Right, sir? Right. And the community and the people also internationally have faith that once long they will do their best.
Right, sir.
That is one reason, sir. The second reason is that all the national and international forces created by various organizations do a wonderful job, but they take their own time, they have their own interests, and all that is all combined. So that's why it has happened. Now, all the resources being created, I'm talking about India.
Right.
NDRF, there is one, you must have heard about it.
Right.
Now, NDRF is doing a good work, but this happens to be something like army. Because the people have not been made part of this. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So they have created one more force, which is the active force.
Right.
Right, sir? Have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. You have answered my question, sir. Yes.
Tell me what next.
Sir, the other thing is that I want to ask you is, you would have already gauged the intensity of problem at Jammu and Kashmir. Can you tell us what is the current status at Jammu and Kashmir, sir? What's the level of destruction that has happened? And how effective were we with all this disaster management policies that we have brought in recently? Did we avert a bigger damage, sir?
No, see, the point is that there are three major points I want to tell you. Firstly, the Jhelum River, which is, there are two rivers which have been caused of this flood. One is the Jhelum River, which overflooded Srinagar and the rest of the areas.
Right.
Another is Tavi River, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, these two rivers have dominantly destroyed the whole system there. So, what has happened is that desilting of these two rivers was taken up some time back, but none of the government, state government or the central governments have paid no attention for desilting of these rivers. Number one cause. Number two, the flood management department in Jammu and Kashmir is negligible. They thought that floods will never affect Jammu and Kashmir. Second factor. Third factor is in the last 109 years, there have been no serious floods in Jammu and Kashmir. So people were totally slack, and I just thought that in April 2013, I took the team of Sarista Foundation to the area of Rajouri, to the area of Poonch, to the area of Nowshera, where I trained school teachers and school children. I asked them, has the state government reached you to raise awareness? No. So what I'm saying is that general awareness was not there. The local administration in Jammu and Kashmir was rarely sensitive to the problems of disasters.
Right.
And especially the floods.
Yes. Yes. And
the same. I'm talking about Baroda. I'm in Jammu. I'm in Gujarat. Now, the last 3-4 days in Baroda, there was a serious flood. There's a river which flows inside. 22,000 people were affected. And this is where we are talking about Gujarat model and various models of preparedness. But this is all on paper. This is all on paper. The common man is hardly aware that what he should do and how he should do. Okay, sir?
Right. Exactly, sir. You are absolutely right. So I didn't realize the fact that in Vadodara there was a flood. I was only looking at the August 17th flood in Arunachal Pradesh and also in Jammu and Kashmir. There's no discussion about Vadodara flood in Gujarat. So what's the impact of that flood in Vadodara right now, sir?
No, you see, now the river overflow has receded. But what I'm saying is that about 25,000 were seriously affected.
Oh, okay.
Seriously affected. They lost their household things. They lost everything. Right? And they had no early warning. They had never had an opportunity to learn. Suppose there happens to be in this kind of situation. What I'm saying is that it's a very sensitive issue when you talk about it, but it's a reality.
Right.
Why not a person or his family can be prepared to face a situation? And that's what I'm looking forward, and I'm making a humble effort. Yes, you should be prepared. Yes, you should be prepared. You should be able to protect your wife. You should be able to protect your children. You should be able to protect your property.
Right.
And when that comes in, I think we'll be losing lesser lives.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Sir, you started this NGO called Sarista Foundation, and also the government has got it. Yes, sir.
I could get you.
So you started this NGO called Sarista Foundation, sir, and also the government has got its own disaster management agencies that they handle it. How do you as an NGO and the government sources work together, sir? Would the government really take your inputs? Because the past 15 years, people like you have been putting in a lot of efforts. Would they consider you and then take your inputs, sir?
Now, you see, I just want to start from top. United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Risk Reduction, right?
Right, sir.
There was a director by name of Mr. Salvin Viceno.
Right.
He's a man, 10 years ago, he mobilized the whole system of the nations how to develop disaster management policies and strategies, right?
Right.
He's a man who has complimented me a number of times and said, yes, your good practices can be replicated internationally. That is one happiness I am having. Number two, sir, as far as India is concerned,
right.
The bureaucracy here is too intoxicated.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
They think whatsoever they do, nobody can challenge that. Am I right?
Right, sir.
And that intoxication prohibits them not to take feedback from anyone, not to take any guidance from anyone, not to appreciate any good practices. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the status.
Right.
And what they do is, what they do, the collectors of the various districts have been made responsible. Okay?
Right.
And those collectors are very busy people and they hardly have any priority for preparing people for disasters. They only manage to react when the tragedies are there. And that's unfortunately the status today. But we have better equipment at the national level, better equipment at state level to respond to rescue people. Nothing more than that.
Right, sir. Right, sir. Sir, I want to come up to this phenomenal thing that you guys have done. Arambol is a village panchayat that has become the first panchayat in the country to have its own disaster management plan. And I know the amazing efforts Sarista Foundation has put in there. Can you enlighten us what sort of initiatives have been imbibed into the people at Arambol?
Arambol, you're talking Goa?
Yes, sir.
You see, we have been part of that. Huh? We have been part
Yes.
of that.
Mhm.
Now, those villages, what actually, now you touched a very interesting vein in me. What I am planning is that each family should have a disaster management plan. Okay?
Right, sir.
Each family should have a disaster management plan.
Yes.
And that culminates into, because we were partners with the government of Goa at that time, and there's another institute of management where we work together and made it possible that how the village people of that village should be responding to floods, responding to earthquakes, responding to terrorism, responding to bomb blasts, and what kind of resources locally could be collected together till the outside help reaches.
Right. Right. And
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I am very happy you have studied in detail about Sarista Foundation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. And sir, I wanted to ask you, in the Arambol village, you mentioned that you've taught the villagers.
I'm part of that.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're part of that. And then the villagers were equipped
You
with.
are happy that the father of the church,
Uh-huh.
father of the church was one of the serious participants. He had gone through all the mock drills for the various things. So I'm happy to remember that.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. Sir, when we talk about Arambol, sir, what sort of tools did you tell the local people should have at their behest so that they can protect themselves, their community, and also their lives, sir?
You see, the first is the making rescue, because you see, Goa is lesser prone to earthquakes, but
Right.
Goa is more prone to high rise or floods. So we had defined that, okay, there will be a village rescue team.
Right,
Okay?
right.
There will be a village rescue team for the floods. Okay, sir?
Yes.
And the village rescue team will have the following items like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, making floaters, making ropes, taking out old ladies, and how to take out. All those procedures have been defined for them.
Right, sir. Right.
And locally, how to take a pregnant woman out of that. How to take an old lady when the water is deep about 4 to 5 feet.
Right. Yes.
How to use the floaters. How to make the floaters of bamboos or banana trees or even coconuts.
Okay. And that brings in an interesting question, sir. I hail from a place called Vijayawada, which is in Andhra Pradesh. Now let's imagine I want to do some sort of community mobilization and also letting people know that we can handle our own, we can have our own disaster management system. Or I go to a nearby village and then tell them how to protect from disasters. So if I have to do that, and how would Sarista Foundation help in this regard, sir?
You see what I just want to. You see, Mr. Reddy was the vice chairman of NDMA, right?
Right, sir.
Do you know it? Mr. Reddy, before this new government came, Mr. Reddy was the vice chairman of NDMA. Maluma, do you know it?
Yes, sir. Murray Sister Reddy is the National Disaster Management Agency's. He was the vice chairman.
He was there. So, what I'm saying, you take the example of Odisha.
Right.
Which can transform to Vijayawada also. That the most important thing which happened in Odisha was the people were made to adhere to warning system.
Okay.
Right, sir?
Right, sir.
Similarly, the Vijayawada faces number of cyclones, number of emergency because of cyclones and then the rain and the floods.
Right.
So the similar make the people aware that yes, that before 48 hours or before 70 hours, 2 hours, what they should be doing when the cyclone is announced. Right, sir?
Right, sir.
And accordingly, they have to prepare the local innovations to protect themselves.
Right, sir.
Now the local innovations is a very easy word, but
Right.
how to make it on the ground, it can be done by the local people because they are more experienced and their expertise is more important because they have been protecting themselves for ages. There is nothing new for them. But we have to only sensitize that art. We have to sensitize those resources. Right, sir?
Right. Yes, sir. And sir, my other question to you is, how difficult is it to run an NGO that can tackle these disaster managements? Because governments wouldn't like it, and also as part of your efforts, you should reach out to schools, communities, villages. It's all politicized, bureaucracy, hurdles. How do you manage, sir?
Sir, the most interesting part is that, sorry, it does concern.
Mm-hmm.
When you say NGO, I'm scared.
Right.
No. You'll ask why.
Yes, sir.
Because some NGOs are doing excellent work and some NGOs are corporates.
Yes, sir.
You see the difference or no?
Yes, sir. I see the difference. Yes.
So I am the infantryman walking on the ground with my own pension and with the support of like-minded people. We do a workshop of 300 children in 15,000 rupees. How much?
Yes, sir.
No, are you getting it?
Yes, I'm getting it, sir.
Yeah, now I just came back from Rajasthan.
Right.
Did 4 workshops in 4 cities of rural areas.
Right.
So we are surviving sustainable support. We are trying for sustainable support, and there has been no support from the government for this. We only ask people, okay, you collect some resources, right? If you support us, we'll be able to teach you.
Right.
I don't have corpus money, I don't have resources and all that, but still the mission is going on.
Yes.
Because of what? I have made disaster management as people-centered, people-led and people-owned. When people understand this, yes, this is what we have to do, that's how they're supporting me.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Sir, I wanted to tell you that at Sarista Foundation, you've been doing phenomenal work, and the entire country should be proud of you as a military officer taking this charge, and also as a man who felt there is a real need for people to protect themselves.
I'm a common citizen, sir, now.
Yeah, common citizen.
Who's making a small difference to the lives of people who can protect themselves.
Absolutely, sir. And these common citizens, this citizen participation, and also this level of awareness, and having this compassion to energize people to protect their own lives, because this is a matter of life, sir. It is so critical, right? So your efforts are incredible. My question to you, sir, how can anybody who's listening to this interview help Sarista Foundation, sir?
Sir, my only humble submission is, number one, the person who wants to help me, he should help himself and his family first. Yes. By preparing them to be skilled to protect themselves. That's one favor they will do to me. You agree, sir?
Yes, sir.
And they have to invest in this. Number two, they can tell me, okay, we are a religious form, we are a political form, we are a national form, we are a government, and we want you to educate 10,000 children annually. I'll do it. But right. They have to support me, right, sir?
Right, sir.
You support self-help group women of Andhra or Gujarat or anywhere or Rajasthan. I'll do it, but I should be able to able to sustain myself. I don't want a 5-star support, but I want a sustainable support from people where I can keep on moving forward in my mission.
Right, sir. Wonderful, wonderful, sir. And sir, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for, if it is possible, can you share your details with the listeners so that if the schools, communities, or anyone who's listening to this want to imbibe this sense of disaster recovery management and also risk management systems in their own villages and towns, they can reach out to you. Can you provide that information on this interview, sir?
Yes, see what I'm saying, that what is needed is basic inputs of information and training, tactical training and resources to learn to respond. You see, what unfortunately has happened is that most of the things are PPT based.
Right.
The most of the education is PPT based, which I have made it in a usable form. They are not PPT based. You're the part. We should not do it. I will do it. What I'm trying is, we should do it in a neta. A political system says we should do it. But why I'm making the participants that I will do it. I'll do it for my family. I'll do it for my society. And how I will do is being told about it.
Right, sir. Right, absolutely, sir.
Sorry?
Yeah, all right, sir. So that was Dr. Colonel N Verma, Director General of Sarista Foundation. So friends, you have to really go to this website, Sarista Foundation, Sarisa, Sarita Foundation, FOUNDATION.org.
The full form is Security Awareness and Readiness. Huh?
Security Awareness and Readiness.
Readiness by Training and Social Awakening.
Okay, security readiness and awareness by social awareness.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. So, friends, that was Sarista Foundation and the Colonel N Verma, Dr. N Verma, Director General of Sarista Foundation. You can go to their website, saristafoundation.org, SARITSA Foundation, FOUNDATION.org. So the mission statement is straightforward: empowering communities, especially children, women, disabled, poor, and ordinary citizens who have no access to education and training to cope with man-made and natural disasters, including climate changes. So Sarista Foundation aims to build capacity, train, encourage, and also inspire and motivate people to use local resources, share experiences to enhance skills, especially among school children, youth, women groups, disabled and vulnerable people at individual and community levels, to minimize and mitigate risks from any of these disasters. So as Dr. N Verma has enlightened us in this interview, 15 years of unbelievable effort and a lot of training sessions, and also reaching out to communities and government sources to work together and also help as much as possible to avert and also minimize the risks involved in disasters. So phenomenal effort. Please do go to their website, saristafoundation.org. Also, you can reach out to Dr. N Verma, and Dr. N Verma's email address is also on the website. It is sarisa, SARITSA, at vsnl.net. Thank you so much, friends, and you do have a wonderful weekend. Do come back every Saturday, Sunday on nrisamay.com. You can listen to all the interviews and also live shows we do on a regular basis. You can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/NRISamay. Also twitter.com/NRISamay. You can write to us, nrisamay@gmail.com, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, friends.